The Simone Feiler Podcast, giving authors a platform. Welcome to the podcast.
G'day there, I'm Simone Feiler and welcome back to the podcast. Today I'm joined by a very special guest, Tasmanian author Greg Ray. Many of you'll know Greg as a creative mind behind much loved stories like the Why Dogs children's series, those whimsical rhyming tales that have delighted kids and classrooms right around our fabulous nation. But Greg's latest work takes us on a very different journey, I can tell you. His novel, Pay the Price, is a high-stakes thriller set on Bruny Island, weaving together financial ambition, international espionage, and the devastating downfall of a man whose rise to millions on the stock exchange shatters not only his fortune, but the fortunes of all who trusted him. It's a fast-paced, gripping ride. I can tell you I had to remind myself, you are doing some work here. You're not just listening to a story. And Greg has just spent the entire week here at Brisbane Audiobook Production narrating his fabulous story in his own voice. Greg, I'm so excited to have our chat today. From mischievous dogs to ruthless deals, from children's laughter to edge-of-your-seat suspense, welcome to the podcast today.
Thank you.
So, I actually didn't know that you had penned your dog stories until I sort of later in the scene. So I only heard about Pay the Price and then did a little bit of investigating and find that you've actually visited schools around the country with your Why Dogs series. So tell me how that all came about.
It was by accident more than anything else. The first of the children's books I wrote was Why Dogs Sniff Bums, which also happens to be the biggest seller by a country mile.
I wonder why.
Yeah, of course. And that really, the idea of that came from my mother, who was, I had a very special relationship with my mother. She's been my inspiration through life.
That's beautiful.
She told me the story when I was a small boy about the theme about why dogs sniff bums. And just quickly, it's the dogs decide to hold a big dance. And because some dogs have tails that stick in the air, their rear end is always exposed. So they were required to take their bums off and hang them on a hook before they went to the dance so that they all looked nice and neat. Unfortunately, there was a big fire broke out in the hall. And they had to evacuate very quickly. And as they did, they grabbed any bum they found on a hook. And a whole lot of dogs, well, all dogs got it wrong. And that's why they go around sniffing one another's rear end to try to find the bum they lost in the fire but hadn't forgotten.
So funny.
Mum told me this story as a kid. And it was one of those things, when someone tells you a story like that as a kid, it just sticks in your brain.
Yeah.
Then my eldest daughter, who's now in her mid-40s, when she was a girl, she asked me why dogs did this. And I sat down and actually wrote the book. Hence, that's how it came about. And I wrote it, years ago. I mean, a long time ago.
Okay.
And it sat in a drawer at home, and everyone, the girls would pull it out at dinner parties or something and get me to read it, and everybody would have a good laugh. We didn't think any more about it. But the girls hassled me over the years to actually publish it, and by then I'd written Why Dogs Circle to Lie Down.
There's 5 of them, isn't there?
Yeah,
that are published.
There's actually 7.
Oh, okay.
But 2 have not yet been published. That is Why Dogs Are Man's Best Friend and Why Dogs Look Like Their Owners.
Yeah.
I've just sat on them for the last few years, really, to be honest, I did it really as a bit of a lark, and it turned into a sort of very small business. And it got very intrusive on my time as a business person.
So it's taking over your life.
Yeah, well, it was. And it was good fun. And I loved going to the schools.
Yeah. How did that come about?
Well, just before I get on to schools, I think there's a really good story about the beautiful illustrations,
Yeah.
which are done by an adorable woman called Jenny Miller.
Yeah.
And when the girls were hounding me to get these things published, I said, well, how am I ever going to find someone to illustrate the stories in the way I want them? And anyway, they convinced me to take an advertisement in the paper.
Right.
And they did. And look, it ended up going on the web and people, we got applications from all over the world.
Yeah. Amazing.
And when we did, they came in by email. Well, they were invited to come in either by email or by post. And the girls and I actually went on holidays. And when we were on holidays, we got the first of the email entrants come in, or almost the totality of them. I think there were 48 or something came in.
That's huge.
From the US, South Africa, Britain, all over the place.
Wow, huge.
And anyway, we went through a process of selecting the top 3 or 4.
So did they hear the story already?
They were sent. Oh no, the first round, I said I'm interested in someone illustrating children's books I've written about dogs.
Yeah, okay.
And they invariably sent me a little bit of drawings of dogs they had and so on. We picked the top 6. I then wrote back to them, gave them a set of the verse from one of the books,
Yeah.
and said, draw an illustration to this point, paid them for that process, and back they came. Then the girls and I selected the top 2 from there, and the girls said to me, Dad, the final choice is yours. And I said, well, I'm not going to do anything until I get back to Tasmania. So when we got back, I went down to my PO box and opened it up, and there was a letter inside, and there was one drawing that had come by snail mail.
Right. And
I opened it up and said, this is the one.
Wow.
And she lives about 10 kilometres away from me.
Oh, is that right? That's an easy collab. What the heck?
Had never illustrated anything before in her life.
Is that right?
And
wow, she's amazing.
The illustrations are just
she'd obviously painted and drawn stuff, please tell.
Well, she was obviously a skilled painter,
Yeah.
but again, had never exhibited any of her paintings.
Amazing.
And the Why Dogs Don't Bark at Santa is one of my favourites. In fact, it is my favourite.
Is it? You're not supposed to have favourites.
No, I know you're not. I know you're not, but I do. So it was a book I wrote in the shortest possible time, and I gave it to Jenny, and the illustrations.
We'll just show a couple and then we'll tell them later where they can get them.
The illustrations are just beautiful.
I thought so too when I read them after you gave them to me. They're amazing.
Just stunning.
Yeah. Well, that's an incredible story. So when was the last one? Have you got the last 2 out?
No.
Okay. So
no, and I've got no immediate plans to produce them.
Well, excuse me, everybody better give this a like and say, Greg, where are those last 2?
Well, it's...
but you are busy with other things.
Yes,
right?
And I'm not too sure why I've held off. I'm still, despite my gathering age, if I can put it that way, I'm still very busy. And my interest has really switched from the children's books to fiction. I've actually been writing fiction now for quite a number of years, but have, again, not published any of it.
This is the first published one in audiobook format.
Yes.
So that's exciting.
It is. And it's the first, this is the first time I've taken any serious attempt to publish any of the books, apart from the children's books.
Yeah. So do you want to give us a little bit of a sneak preview, because you've got a trilogy as well that...
Yeah.
And you wrote those first, the first 2, is my understanding.
Yes, and the trilogy is for me, my most exciting work.
Okay.
I really love Pay the Price.
So do I.
And I love it because it's a combination of a really exciting theme, I hope, but it also brings in my love of Bruny Island and the setting and the history and the wildlife and all the rest of it. So it's a very personal sort of book in that sense. But the trilogy, which the first one is the Ramsay Factor,
Yeah.
the second one is the Miranda Factor, and the third one is the Final Factor. I'm about 1/3 the way through the Final Factor.
It's got nothing to do with Game of Thrones, has it?
No.
Did you watch that? Because they were actually an item, Miranda and Ramsay.
Oh, were they?
Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go.
That's
I've
crazy.
never watched or heard anything about.
I think it was Miranda. I haven't watched it for a while, but yeah.
Yes.
It just came to me.
Well, Ramsay is a former SAS soldier who, look, it's difficult to explain it all, but the Ramsay Factor, I sent it to a publishing consultant once, and she picked the phone up and rang me back.
That's
and said,
amazing.
I took this manuscript home at the weekend thinking, will I bother to have a look at it? She said, I picked it up and I did not put it down until I'd read the whole thing.
Wow.
And there's 115,000 words in it.
That's a big book, as you
It's
well
a
know
huge
now.
book. And
It's a
she
lot of
said to
hours.
me, you've just got to get it published.
Wow.
And I said, well, I'm not ready to yet because it's going to be part of a trilogy. So for that reason, I've really done nothing with it as yet. The Miranda Factor, I love too, and I must say I'm really enjoying working on the third book, although I haven't actually touched it for about 6 or 7 months. But I do this. I'll write a certain amount, I'll get a burst on, then I'll put it aside. And then I come back and reread it and go, yeah, that's starting to work. And then I go from there.
Because it's probably all mulling even in your subconsciousness in the
Well,
background.
it needs to because I never have a plan.
Right. What the heck?
Every book I've written, including Pay the Price started when I wrote the first chapter, as you would know.
Yeah.
What that entails.
Yeah. Very intriguing. It hooks you straight away. Straight away, I can tell you.
So having written that, I thought, what the hell do I do now? And it just sort of goes from there. Part of the thrill and excitement of writing fiction like this, complicated fiction, where there's a serious theme, is that people wonder why I spend long hours walking the beach. It's because I'm trying to figure out how to make everything come together.
Right.
And I find that exciting and enthralling.
Yeah,
And
well, it's a different
keeps
world.
the old grey matter going.
Yeah, definitely. But, your life experiences, you're a journalist and you've also were in the Vietnam War. You've had a very rich life, obviously. I did see on your website, actually, Timmins Ray, you're semi-retired. What do you mean semi? So you're still working? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Timmins Ray, I started, I was a political reporter.
Yeah.
For the ABC. So, having been a political reporter, and then I decided to set up a business called Corporate Communications in Tasmania, which was a public relations company and really, a lobbyist organisation as well. And it was a very successful enterprise. Then I decided that I wanted to move to Melbourne to expand the business, and eventually it went to Melbourne, Sydney, Canberra and Auckland.
Oh, good on you.
And then Hill and Knowlton, which was the second biggest PR company in the world, came and made me an offer I couldn't refuse.
Nice one.
And I ran them. They took over the business. I ran the business in Australia for, I think, 3 years until working for a multinational eventually drove me nuts.
Right.
And I retired for the first time.
Right.
I've done a bit of that.
Okay.
And so I then, I was convinced by a former competitor of mine to come back and work for him. And I did. And that worked for a while. But I then established Timmins Ray again in Tasmania because my eldest daughter was working in public relations.
All right.
And I wanted to work with her.
Okay.
And it took me a while to convince her.
I was going to say, I'm going to ask you how you did that. That's what I want my kids to do. Or I want to work with them.
Yes.
That's a really good way of looking at it.
Excuse me. It has worked out very well. She now runs the business and it is highly successful.
Awesome. A chip off the old block, eh?
Yeah, oh yes. She's a skilled operator. There's no doubt about that. So I still, and there's something devious in this probably, I still manage the money side of the business. That's only because it takes a load off her shoulders.
Yeah.
And
Or so you say.
It keeps me, or so I say. I hope she's not watching this. But it keeps me involved in the business, keeps me up to date with what's happening, and it keeps the old grey matter going around as well. So, it's a very good situation. She and I get on. I mean, we joke about this. We've only ever had one argument in her life, and I've been a single parent with her for a long time. So, our relationship is just amazing.
Yeah.
People are staggered by it. Well, I've had clients come up to me and say, "How do you ever work with your daughter so well?"
Isn't that good?
That's
so
it's
good.
just my charming personality. but of course, it is just we have a wonderful relationship. I have a similar relationship with my youngest, so I'm lucky.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. I'm sure she'd say the same of you as well. So,
well, to my face, probably.
Just the way that you talk about her and her younger sister, that you can see the love there. That's really good.
Thank you.
So, tell us a little bit about your journalistic career. You said you were working at the ABC.
Well, after leaving school, I joined the ABC as a journalist. Lucky to get the job.
Yeah.
Not sure how, but I did. And I began a 4-year cadetship, as most people still do, I suspect, or except those that go to university. It's different now. We did our university on the road, so to speak.
Oh, yeah.
On the job.
So you had to have, hands-on experience.
Yeah, absolutely. So
that's the best way.
Just
saying.
The interesting part for me was that I was in the call-up for Vietnam while I was doing my cadetship, and off I went. The army, being really well organised, sent me to infantry. I was a bit lucky, really. I'd been brought up as a child on Flinders Island. I'd been involved in hunting a lot, and I had a successful time in the army. And when I came back, it was guaranteed that you would come back in no less a position in your career than when you left. The reality was that it couldn't be any other way.
No.
Of course you were.
What the heck?
So I had
They pulled the wool over someone's eyes, or tried to.
I had a news editor who was, I suspect, really, well, he was very supportive of the fact that I'd been to Vietnam.
Right.
And when the top reporting job came up as political reporter, I was I didn't even consider myself in the race.
Right.
But he called me in one day when everyone was fighting for the job. And he said to me, if I went mad and decided to appoint you as political reporter, what would you say to me? And I said, I'll give you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And he said, all right, the job's yours.
Wow.
And
That's such a coup, isn't it, for you?
it was terrific.
Yeah.
So that shot me up the pole pretty
Yeah,
quickly.
you had to get into it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
that's
during all that, of course, I developed some amazing relationships within the political system.
Yeah.
And, so I went on from there.
Yeah, awesome. So you know some interesting people and have seen some things, I guess, in doing both of those particular
Yes.
careers,
Yes.
into the army and then journalism. But how does your experience in your life tie in with Pay the Price? Have you drawn on any of, I mean, obviously some of it, but is there any realisms in there as such?
Yes, there are. Well, the first thing is that I'll just let people know that the story centres around a lot of things, but one of the things is the development of microwave technology, and the potential for it to be used as a weapon of what could be mass destruction.
Yeah.
And that really came out of a chance meeting I had with an inventor who had come up with a new idea about using microwave technology. So yes, that certainly stemmed from that. The intrigue and political, or the espionage factor of it really came from a little bit of my experience in the army, but it also came from from a personal experience I had within commercial or industrial espionage at a high level in Australia.
Okay.
Where I was working or consulting to a company that had been that was being seriously impregnated by espionage.
Right.
And I mean, I'm sure people understand that it's going on all the time, but this was years ago, and I'm not sure people understand how intense and effective it is, and how it can bring about serious problems for major companies.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, they kept it pretty quiet, I suspect. They certainly did in the case I was involved in.
Very interesting. Well, your writing is insanely good, and then even when you brought the books around the other day, and I read them with my kids upstairs. They're adults, but we laughed. They are funny and clever. You're also clever with your wit, even in Pay the Price. There were times when I just wanted to laugh out loud, and it was only like 2 lines where I would crack up. How you got that humour in such a dark scene. So obviously you're a very funny guy and you've used wit throughout your life.
Well, yes, that's true. That's true.
And also there was something else I learned about the ants in Tasmania. They're the
Jack jumpers.
Yeah, jack jumpers.
Yes.
The most dangerous ants in the country live in Tassie.
They are. And
that's all you need to know.
And I tell you, when one gives you a sting, boy, you know about it. They are savage little buggers.
Have you been bitten?
Oh, as a kid, yeah, time and time again.
Right.
And they hurt. I mean, they really are nasty bites.
Yeah.
But of course, the setting in this book is someone gets caught in a massive nest of jack jumpers.
Yeah.
The result is pretty horrifying.
Yeah, definitely. And Bruny Island, obviously it's the place that you grew up and that you love. Why was it easy to set the book there?
Well, it wasn't actually where I was brought up. I was brought up on Flinders Island, which is in the middle of Bass Strait.
Right, okay.
Bruny Island is at the other end of Tasmania.
Okay.
So I'm an island person.
Yeah. Middle of Bass Strait. Did you
yeah.
ever swim either way?
Oh, yeah. I mean, Flinders Island was an extraordinary place. Still is.
Do you go there?
I haven't been there for some years, but yes, I still have a very powerful connection with Flinders.
Yeah.
But because it's out of the way and not easily accessible, I've substituted Bruny Island for Flinders. But Bruny is now, it's changed a lot. I've been going there for 50 years, I guess.
Right.
And it's changed. It's become quite a tourist attraction now.
No, not Bruny Island as well.
Yes, I know.
It's just everywhere.
I know. I noticed the Spanish people are kicking up about it now, but I mean, it's inevitable. There's nothing you can do about it.
That's right.
Because it is such a spectacular place.
It sounds amazing.
Oh, yes, it is.
In amongst all the angst and the scariness and of the pay the price book and Lawson and his antics and his mates, but you can see the scenery through your writing as well, I've got to say. It's amazing.
It's a beautiful place.
Yeah.
As I think I told you a little while ago, I've got 2 albino wallabies that live in my backyard, and the albino wallabies are a peculiar thing that's occurred on Bruny Island through some genetic mix-up. I don't quite understand how it's all occurred, but we get floods of people, particularly the Chinese, who come to Bruny just to see and photograph these white wallabies.
Right. The 2 of them, or there's more than 2?
Oh, on the island.
Okay.
Well, they're all around Adventure Bay, which is the area in which I live.
Right.
So there are dozens of them in that area. Mm-hmm. And you can drive just along the Adventure Bay road and see them at the side of the road. Mm-hmm. At dusk is really the time when they appear.
Yeah, that'll be a beautiful sight. How
cute.
Yes,
it's pretty amazing.
Yeah. What's one of the best things about living at Bruny Island? Because you split your time, you're at the sunny coast as well, and I know I'm not too far away from that, so I know that's a good spot.
Well, the temperature here today is probably, about 22 or 22 or 23 maybe.
It seems like about 16 or 17. That said like
You're
a true Queenslander. You're probably right.
At Adventure Bay, the temperature today would probably be about 13 or 14.
Oh, say no more.
So, summer in Tasmania is delightful. But winter, I'm getting a bit too old for cold winters. Mm. And there's another thing peculiar about Tasmania. Every time I meet a Queenslander in Tasmania, I ask them if they have sunscreen, and they go, I come from Queensland. We have sun all the time. Yes, but you don't understand, in Tasmania you'll burn like that because there's a big hole in the ozone layer over Tassie. And I can't tell you, we had a stall in Salamanca Market some time ago. Where we sold the children's books, and they're still sold there. But I don't get involved in it anymore, apart from supply the books. And Queenslanders would come in, and they would look like lobsters, and they'd only been, half an hour, 3/4 of an hour in the sun.
Crazy, that's even hotter than here, and more lethal.
And Queenslanders are so susceptible because they cannot believe that they come from Queensland and get sunburned in.
Yeah, you'd think not.
Yeah.
So what was the decision that you decided to go with audiobook rather than print to begin with?
My children driving me nuts.
Okay.
Just do it. Just do it.
Awesome.
So,
that's good. They've been the driving force behind you, it sounds, in a lot of things. You keep it up, girls. You're doing amazing.
Talk about cracking the whip.
Well, that's good. You're good at what you do. It should be exploited, mate.
Yeah, look, there are whole lots of reasons why I accepted the challenge. The first is there's a reticence in me to deal with publishers. I just don't like the idea of sending off manuscripts that you know might or mostly might not be read. And you get a letter saying, no, yes, but no thanks.
Yeah, right.
I just, the whole principle of it just aggravates me a bit. And I'm used to being judged on performance, and with publishing, it appears to me about 90% luck and 10% on performance. You've got to break through that barrier to get someone meaningful to actually sit down and read the manuscript.
Traditionally published
before you get anywhere.
Yeah.
So that's why I've never really... I've written for my amusement.
Yeah.
Really, more than anything else.
Well, that's a good thing. Because that's when the best writing happens, when you do it for your love.
And that's always been my intention. But the idea of audiobooks, I talk about my daughters a lot, and that I should be embarrassed by that because I do have a son who's older still.
Oh, no. The outcast, is he okay?
Well,
is he?
No, he's not an outcast. It's just that fathers and sons tend to drift.
Right.
And he, is married and,
yeah, he's the man of his house. He's
a world unto himself. But he has always had an autism problem, and reading has always been difficult for him. And he has urged me, in fact, he's urged me more than anybody probably, to tackle an audiobook. So...
you can tell him you have now, right?
Oh, don't worry. He's ringing me every second day to find out how it's going.
Aww.
So in that sense, that was a driving force.
Yeah.
The other one is that, in a sense, you're master of your own destiny with it. I mean, the next thing I guess I have to face is how to market it and support it in the marketplace.
Yeah.
And
the fun starts now.
Yes, I'm sure it does.
But you've got a good PR company. I bet you can recommend.
Oh, boy.
Just saying.
They're busy enough without worrying about
Is that right?
the poor old bugger who still runs around.
What about me, the principal?
Trying to run the place. Yes, so I don't know. It's done now. So
yeah, and how did you enjoy it? How did you enjoy working with me?
Oh,
in there.
That enjoyment was terrific. Thank you.
You're welcome.
The task was exhausting, I must say. I don't think I had any real understanding of just how exhausting it would be. I had initially, you and I talked about the time needed to do it.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh boy,
I'll be able to handle that.
From 8 until 12, what's wrong with the rest of the day? Boy, the first day I realised, when I walked out of there at 12 o'clock, I went straight to the hotel and collapsed.
I know, it's a gruelling task.
Oh, yes, it is a gruelling
You need
task.
to lie down afterwards, for sure.
You do.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. And of course I'm hopeless because, as you would have appreciated, when I'm reading I get caught up in the thing like I'm writing it.
Yeah.
And I start to freelance as I go. as you know.
Yeah.
I change sentences and muck about.
You did such a good job. I was really impressed. Like, I think when you first came in, it was a little bit of nerves there, but once you settled in, like, it was good, and you brought all those characters to life. You know, just you in there. And as I said at the beginning of the interview, I had to say to myself, I'm not just listening to like a great audiobook here, I'm working. And there's not been too many that's happened with, and I don't do too many fiction where the author reads fiction. So for you to do that is like, I loved Pay the Price, Greg. It's a great book. And even at the end, like it's so good. There's so many twists in there that it keeps you guessing right till the last word. It's an amazing story. So before we sort of wrap it up, you did mention about a publisher getting in touch with you saying that it's as good as Stieg Larsson, your trilogy.
Yes.
Are they looking to sign you for that, or what's the deal?
No, she was just a consultant.
Okay. Well, that's a good indication, though.
And she said to me, I was partly interested in knowing whether she would be willing to publish it. And she said, yes, I would, but frankly, I couldn't do it justice. You need to go to the companies that are in that genre.
Yeah.
And look, it's really equivalent to what I would call an airport read. You know, it's one of those books you pick up and you start to read it and you can't put it down.
That's exactly right. Yep. I could even see it on the big screen in my mind, especially the beauty of Bruny Island.
Yeah. My favourite writer is an Australian called Michael Robotham, who lives in England.
Okay.
And he writes a variety of styles, but he has a favourite character who is suffering from Parkinson's disease, and he's a psychiatrist, and he works with the police in solving mysteries, and he's got a mate who is a former copper and a big burly character, a bit like in mine.
Yep.
And I just so everyone who may be watching this, Michael Robotham.
Okay.
He's an Australian. He is so good. He is such a brilliant writer. I love reading his books.
Okay.
And I don't attempt to be like be like him, because I'd never believe that I could get half as good as him. But I just love, he has this wonderful sense of humour through his books, and yet it's really personal and just engaging. It just engages you. And if I could get a fraction of his ability to engage the reader, I'd be very, very happy.
Well, I said to you in there, I don't know him, but after listening to your book, I said, I'm your listener now. Like, that was amazing. It was really good, and you should give yourself a pat on the back. You should be very proud. It's a great book, and I hope a lot of people, you should go out and listen to it, narrated superbly by the author Greg Ray, a man of many talents, from Why Dogs to Pay the Price, and the trilogy to come. We're all expecting that, right? Did you see his face?
Reading three more books that are even bigger than that. Wow.
Yeah. Well, something to think about, right?
Yes.
Thank you so much for doing your audiobook with me, Greg. I've really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the story immensely, and working with you. You're such a natural and a professional, and chatting with me on the podcast today.
Well, it's been my pleasure working with you, I must say. I did not know what to expect, but I love your professionalism.
Thank you.
I'm a great admirer of professional people and professionalism, and boy, you've got it in spades.
Aww.
It's terrific, and that just makes it so much easier and so more rewarding.
Oh,
Thank you.
Oh, my pleasure. That's really lovely to hear. I really appreciate that very much. And I'm looking forward to hearing the next book. I keep pushing.
Okay.
There's no pressure, right?
No, none at all.
So can people get in touch with you? I mean, people might want to obviously pay the price. It's gone into production now or just about once we get off the podcast. And it'll take probably about 6 weeks to 8 weeks to be online at Audible, Google and the rest of the online retailers.
Yes.
Potentially, have you got a website where people can reach out to you? Oh no, I'm putting a lot of work on you, aren't I?
No, but that's the task for my youngest daughter.
Okay, cool.
But if anyone wants to get in touch with me, they can go on the Y Dogs website.
Okay, so there's a Y Dogs
So
website.
it's just ydogs.com.au.
Awesome.
Y Dogs, one word.
I'll put the links also down.
Oh, terrific.
Down there.
I'm also on LinkedIn, but again, Y Dogs is probably the easiest way to get in touch with me. My company's name is Timmins Ray.
Yeah.
And I mean, not that anyone will remember this probably, but greg@timminsray.com.au will come.
I'll put it in the links.
That'll come straight to me.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. But
Awesome.
Y Dogs is a good avenue to go reach me through. But my youngest daughter, who's tied up in the whole cyber world, if I could call it that.
Yeah, well, it is.
She is going to put together a website for me.
Fantastic.
I'm
Well, it's
not-
about time. I mean,
Well, I'm not a person that, one of my basic philosophies about the business I've been in is that it's not about you, it's always about your client.
it definitely is.
And for that reason, I've always kept a very, very, very low profile.
Right. You need to get out behind that bushel now and shine, Greg.
Oh,
It's your turn to shine.
I can't see that happening, to be perfectly honest. But
Well,
anyway.
it sounds like you've got 3 gorgeous kids that are trying to make you do just that, as you should. And after hearing your books and reading those 3, this man, Greg Ray, shines. So
Thank you.
please help the story get out to more people by liking and sharing the videos, and subscribe to my channel so that you can hear more conversations I have with the likes of Greg Ray and other authors. And thank you so much for listening to the Simone Feiler Podcast today.
Thank you. Thanks for joining the Simone Feiler Podcast.
What's your story?
Contact Simone for a chat at brisbaneaudiobookproduction.com.